Alright, there we go, yep, nope, check, there we go. There we go, alright. So I'm doing that stream I said I would to do today. Anyway. So this is my recreation of my first triumph on Nightmare Mode. So let's run through the loadout. So we have Golden Mobster, of course, Econgo Burr. Probably one of the best towers in the game, frankly. Followed by XWM for its utility. Golden Juggernaut for its extra DPS capability. Though, of course, this is more used for attack bait due to not having the shield tower when I did this the first time. Though, as you can see, I've got all 4 of them now. Then we got EDJ, and then finally, an interesting choice at the time was Helicopter. Now, I could have brought something like Slammer. Though originally I was using Combat Drone before I decided to switch over to using Helicopter. For this mode. Anyway, let's get into the nitty gritty of how I did it, I guess. Alright, let me just get a music player. Anyway, for this specific win, I was on Supremacy Prime. You will think I was using the Reach? Nah. Supremacy. Which is frankly the best map in the game. Though they did fix a thing where you can't put XWM on the vents anymore, I don't think. We'll see. Anyway. We've seen the cutscene before, not gonna cover it again. Of course, with no power-ups by the way, as we like to do things. Or at least, I prefer not to use the power-ups. Though, of course, power-ups can make things easier. Use power-ups at your own discretion. I choose not to. At least not in this mode. They're not needed. Anyway, hello, General Lee. How you doing? Yeah, it's actually been a few days since I've actually logged on to TDX. Yeah, no, I wasn't not practicing this. Yeah, I was actually dealing with several things, to be honest. None of that concerns the stream chat, though. Anyway, the way I went about this was a little interesting. Because, well, frankly, this mode is quite unforgiving in the entry level. Like, even this loadout here isn't even guaranteed to win. This section has the highest odds of winning in a solo game. So this is what I would call the entry level on towers, of course. If you don't enjoy doing solo gameplay though, this loadout will carry pretty hard actually. This is a pretty DPS heavy loadout. Though, there's also the downside of Medic isn't actually that great in this game mode. For the Emperor itself, can keep some of your Golden Juggernauts alive. Though, some may debate. Anyway, next wave has an air enemy, so I'm going to say for XWM. Then place it on this corner. I'm slightly trying to remember how I did things. I did things in a little bit of a specific manner. Also, yes, I'm using a Cyan EDG. I don't know, I was bored. Anyway, there's our XWM online. Air enemies inbound, I don't need to worry about that due to having XWM on deck. With its very, very talented and very interesting controller. You know. What do I have play on my playlist? I'm gonna do a Final Eradication. There we go. Lyric version, no less. Anyway. Now, I am not using the time speed up just yet. I will in due time. Nope. That wasn't... Yep. There you go. Heavy Titan inbound with a jumper. So, now I'm pretty sure... No, I'm not playing Celebrate with you. Jesus Christ. Get a life. Actually, I can't say that to people. No, I want to, because Steal a Brainrot is... Why would you play it? That's just my opinion. People are allowed their own opinions. It's just... disappointing sometimes. Alright, that should cover the heal requirement. Keep my things alive. I'm gonna get one of you. Anyway, now we can speed up a little bit, in my opinion. And that's the level I kind of want them to be on. Gonna grab second level of discount. Are you discounted? No. Oh yeah, this guy. Archer 2s. It's still interesting, all the lore in this mode. It's like, I did a stream on the hidden wave and completing it. So yeah. Just in case, I'm gonna get an extra level on this medic just to be safe. Yeah. Because there is a chariot heavy wave too. Oh! Great. Yep, that's great. That's fantastic. Alright, you know what? I'm gonna actually get all of the troops here. Instead of what I was originally gonna do. There we go. Oof. Now I'm getting a helicopter here specifically because of the turrets. Yeah, that was a bit of a waste of a rebuild, honestly. I have sometimes had moments like that where I'm just a little stupid. Though, it doesn't matter if this helicopter dies. It really doesn't. There we go. Alright, next I'm gonna upgrade these two to the next stage. Then I'm going to... Oh dear God! You. There we go. Yeah, that's usually why I get the helicopter. There we go. Alright, now you can get rid of that. I'm gonna set you back to first for now, temporarily. Give us a bit some time. Oh yeah, you. Yeah, sadly shield doesn't actually protect from that, so doesn't matter. Of course, usually I would have a helicopter and all. And that jumper has been cooked. Now, technically speaking, I would prefer to use the top path. However, using the bottom path at the moment is the safer bet for helicopter. Now, I didn't know this at the time of doing this, considering helicopter had only just been readjusted. So, of course, there was some trial and error to my methods. Anyway, money wave. I like money waves. I specifically love money waves. Money waves like this are really, really nice. Because, sure, it's only like 200 extra bucks per enemy, but, you know. Alright. Don't mind me getting an extra medic. I'm just gonna max out my EDJ. And I'm actually gonna get 2 level 4s at 3. You know, I'm just gonna get more level 4. I didn't actually do that in the original, but this is a bit of an... Some of this is also micro adjustments that I would have made if I played for more time against this mode. Investing in some anti-air measures, blah 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 blah. Money wave. Gonna give a few extra bucks. Right, now I work on getting my... so firstly that level 2. Next I need to get a max out helicopter for wave 20. Though it shouldn't be too difficult. Oh, right, get that real quick, there we go. I didn't actually get the top path medic until a lot later on in my original. But knowing what I do now, it was pretty foolish of me, in all regards. Anyway, that's the first maxed out helicopter. Anyway, that's maxed out EDJ. How the hell did you take damage, sir? Oh! Oh, Avatar. Oh. Avatar prioritizes air units. I kind of forgot about that detail. Yeah, you see, even I am not the smartest person in the world. Yeah, I'm gonna get an Apache. Which may seem a little counterproductive. However... Oh, this is also the wave of the 500 chariots. Unfortunately, I have prepared for this encounter. Now, the only reason I'm getting one top path Apache right now is specifically to deal with the incoming wave from 20. Of course. Holy money. No, I'm gonna get a max out XW instead. Then I'm gonna start working on maxing you guys out. I'm gonna want you over there real quick. Alright, this is the part where I also work on getting a second maxed out helicopter. Right, bring back over the War Apache. There we go. Not the War Apache, the normal Apache. Give me the money. There we go. Oh yeah, these. That's another reason I got the helicopters. Anyway, mind you, this XWM is actually temporary. Now, of course, top half helicopter is actually very susceptible to the kind of abuse of this mode. Like that. That's also why it's not worth getting half the time. Oh, wait, we still lost one? Oh, damn. Can I? Nope. I swear you can put them in the trees. There you can. Alright, now we prepare for Mark 4. Can you still place these on here? Oh, no, you can. Anyway, we are actually setting up these XWMs specifically for anti-air duty and, well, Mark 4. Are you serious? Are you serious? Deaths like this are actually expected. The X-Tanks are specifically the reason this mode sucks. Before anything. Now, usually I'd be working on econ, but, well, as you can see, the mode's a little bit harsh right now. Anyway, helicopters on the bottom path. Usually I'm not a fan of it. But for this mode, it's kind of got its own niche. You know? It's cheaper and it's technically safer than the top path. Until the final wave. I'll be using some top path helicopters on the final wave. But for now, I'm only using the bottom path for the express reason of its stealth. And, well, it did actually end up getting buffed when the helicopter got its adjustment. Yeah. And also all these helicopters make air enemies even more of a joke than they already are in this mode. I mean, the presence of XWM already kind of covers all your anti-air bases, actually, now that I think about it. Alright, that's free anti-air, basically. Each XWN is basically a top path anti-air gun, but slightly funnier, in my opinion. The only issue in this mode is literally the X-Tanks. Like, that is literally the only issue I find with this mode. Oh, yeah, you have stealth detection. I forgot. Oh, my frames. Can you please not do that to my things? Anyway. Yeah, I'd prefer you shoot the XWMs, mate. Hey, is that in my chat? No, it's in my chat. Of course no one's in the chat. Anyway, that's Mark 4 defeated. Now, small reminder, there is no guarantees with this deck of actually winning. The only thing I can actually guarantee with this deck is you actually get to Emperor. Because the Emperor isn't the hardest thing to get to. It's just a little bit of a pickle in the wrong circumstances. Though of course with the right economy you're fine. Still. It's just sometimes a bit of a hassle. Anyway, now I'm just working on getting all of my XWMs online. Specifically on the missile pathway. On random specifically due to the fact they're like really high splash damage. But also when you're fighting the Emperor, these missiles actually end up being surprisingly strong against healing drones. Though, of course, it's also the second reason I'm using helicopter. When I got to the Emperor for the first time, I realized helicopter was actually pretty solid. Right. How many rebuilds do you have left? 0. Good excuse to get rid of you. Anyway, I do use some top paths. Specifically on this roof. Why? Why not? XWMs are your main carrying force in this mode. Oh, hi, Destructor. Oh, right, the air rush is gonna be horrible. I always forget the air rush is absolutely brutal with a loadout like this. Like, genuinely hostile. It's just that bad. Because the air raid is destructive as hell. Oh. I did not want my helicopters to get killed. The X-Drone has been destroyed. Oh, I hate when you do that. I am glad they actually buffed the bottom path helicopter, actually. It doesn't take like 20 years for it to regain stealth. Anyway. Oh, Mr. Destructor, do you want some more XWMs? To shoot you in the face? Because I got plenty of those. Dead. Destructors have been annihilated. Some could even say, eradicated. Anyway. That joke was horrible. My bad. My bad. The hell did you shoot? Oh, that's the rocket variant. Oh, that makes sense. Interesting to see that some of the enemies actually shed their armor to get stronger. Anyway. I'm getting to golden juggernauts here. No particular reason, just adding some DPS to the board. Can't complain with some extra firepower. Now, I am confident in my capabilities to micro, but, like, I'm also uneasy by the whole fact of... I know how this mode goes. I have gotten all the nightmare towers, like, I know how this mode works. And it is not fun. Not fun at all. I often find myself thinking, like, why is Ultra mode scaled like hell? I think they actually readjusted the Ultra mode recently. Though, if anything... Oh yeah, Mark 1 combat! Owie! I would like you to eradicate yourself from this realm, and any living expenses. I need to keep enough healing on the board to actually allow my units to live, so... Yeah, target the XWMs. Thank you. Of course, if I had Shield Tower, I would have used the ability to unstun my things, and it would have been fine. However, since it's you, of all bloody things. There's a creature underneath. Oh, of course you had to shield like a little bitch. Oh, you used that, but... Bro! Rare footage! Laser sweep. Bro really uses that. That is like a really rare catch on camera. I never actually expected to catch that on camera. Wonder we're detecting a large air force inbound. Now, I do expect most of my defense to die now. Well, at least in the next wave. There are props if they don't. And something can detect air enemies. Helicopters. Okay, sir, can you stop sniping off my bloody medics? Oh, I want combat medics so badly. I wonder what combat medics even gonna... How are they even gonna work? Like, huh? I don't know how combat medics gonna work, chat. Honestly, I guess I'll go to mine. And my guess is it's probably not gonna be good, that great. Probably, might be. Yeah, no, it might be. 20 range, 28 range. Anyway, I'm fully expecting these two helicopters to die, by the way. I am simply positioning them there to act as DPS sponges. Have DPS potential. They're not sponges, they don't have the greatest health. Actually, no, they have more health than XWM, I'm sure it's fine. Yeah, they can kind of act as DPS sponges. Oh, especially with these annoying helicopters around. Or tanks around. Anyway, we get to hear me critique the game mode. Yippee! Oh, you bastards. I just blazed that guy. He didn't deserve it. Anyway. Anyway, the airwave should be commencing soon. That is quite literally the next wave. Now again, I can't stress this enough. There is no guarantees to win with this loadout. Of course though, there is at least a guarantee. There's at least a guarantee of getting to Emperor. But yeah, as you can see, the DPS is kinda lacking. Frankly, if I was to pick a Nightmare Tower that you should 100% grind, it'd be the Shield Tower. The Shield Tower I consider a must-have. In all conditions. It is literally mandatory. At least I consider it mandatory. Some may disagree with me, and that's fine. You're allowed to have your own opinions. But yeah, usually it is worth trying to, like, not play solo with a loadout like this. At least in my personal opinion. I'm pulling all these helicopters away so they don't get murdered by the tanks. Honestly, the way I see it, you should be just synergizing your shields and your medics. Anyway, whoa. Okay. I do not remember them getting that far. Maybe my winning run was on the reach. Oh, now I'm down on myself. Yippee. This deck is actually very anti-air strong. I just realized. Oh my lord. Like, this air heavy wave usually is a little problematic. Though I am noticing, I think I've lost a helicopter. I have. Yeah, no, I have literally not lost a single helicopter. Wow. Yeah, and that's the airwave. Huh. That went better than expected, actually. Am I at the limit? No. Can I get the thing where this is not in the way? Oh. Yeah, I'm not even gonna bother replacing any of that. That is 100% dying. Oh, Jesus. There goes all my helicopters. This might actually be where it ends. It's entirely possible. How much range does your ability have, sir? Oh, good grief. Ooh. Get these Jaegers out my face. And they... Jesus, this is a anti-helicopter mode. I keep saying this mode is so anti-helicopter. I'm not wrong. Like, how much range does your anti-helicopter ability have? The whole map? Well, it doesn't help that the helicopter is technically part of my DPS. It'd be nice if you didn't do that. And you did it anyway. don't think we're winning this one. But yeah, part of how I won this kind of essentially. Actually, maybe we can do enough DPS. Hang on. Please target. Please target ground troops. Oh! Ah! God, I hate it. No, I need a higher DPS. Like, right now. Yeah. Well, I guess I can't guarantee this can actually get to Emperor. There has been a few changes since I did solo this. That guy didn't have that much range. Yeah. Well, I think someone did get to the Emperor and win with this loadout. Though, frankly, I more was trying to recreate what I did do and failed. Laptop, can you not be weird? Oh great, my laptop's being weird. I don't want to... Oh right, that doesn't work anymore. Shit. Yeah, stop flickering at me. I can't do anything, Streamlabs. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I have no idea what was going on with my Roblox. And plus you can only rewind Robux, so that's cringe. I did actually lose like a few XWMs in that fight. Well hey, if anything, I know this deck can get you to way 40. Oh, I could have played this so much better, oh my god. Ugh. But there we go, that's a horrible attempt at recreation, I guess. I'm definitely renaming this stream something else. Shame. What a shame. So, I can now get rid of this horrible loadout. This is what I usually use for Nightmare now. Behemoth's high DPS threshold is actually really good in Shield Tower. It's really funny, I don't even use all the Nightmare Towers. I think I could actually switch out Golden Juggernaut for Refractor. Though I know for sure I can't switch out XWM. XWM is my anti-air unit, after all. And that guy's kind of essential to, either that or AA turret is kind of essential for beating this mode. Though technically you can out-TPS the heal drones. But yeah, how the rest of those waves were supposed to go was Alpha Predator was supposed to mainly target the XWMs, allowing me to get a bunch of golden drugs down to kill them. And then rain will work. So yeah, essentially that wave was not supposed to be a problem for the slowdown, but it was. But I think that has to do with the change they made to Helicopter in Secret. Because notice how it doesn't have ignore bullet resistance. When the helicopter changes first went live, this still had ignore bullet resistance. It doesn't anymore, of course, as you can see from the stats. But this thing does do like 1000 DPS. Before it only did like 500. But of course it lost its ignore bullet resistance, just like how top half got rid of its ignore explosive resistance. Though technically speaking, both of these paths are explosive and bullet damage, I think. Top half might be pure explosive. I don't actually know. But yeah, it does like 1100 DPS with the cannon. Then its passes are like 1222 on the one of the missiles, and then the other has like an extra like 200 damage added to it, DPS added to it. I'm just rambling. Anyway, I have actually seen some pretty stupid stuff. So I'm tempted. Let's see. The only threat to warships in this mode is actually, literally, figuratively speaking, Mark IV. Because, well, firstly there's only one map that it can be used on in nightmare mode. And that is the gun facility. Now, why gun wasn't deployed or anything, that remains a mystery. But, if anything, warship is essential for that map. I don't see how it isn't. Thinking about it, and maybe I should try and beat Gun Factory on right there at some point. That could be an interesting next stream. Because I'm not going to try and recreate it again, but like, I did win with that deck. I know that for sure. That is how I got my first win. It's just, it's a pain. To be fair with the X-Trooper, using helicopter is also a bit of a gambit. At that, when I did it, bro, barely killed them off like twice. So the loadout I was using, it could technically be classed as an RNG deck on if you win. So there's that, I suppose. But yeah, well, I know the Halloween update's coming out soon, so definitely expect more TDX content. And, well, Tower Battles Part 2 is also in the works that I know of. Frankly, there's a lot of TDX content to look out for. And when the Halloween event drops, if it drops at the time that I can instantly log on the stream, I'll do it. But other than that, I've been yapping too long. And I'll see everyone next time, which will be maybe tomorrow. We'll see, we'll see. I need to make sure I buy a Game Pass for the trying to do 50-player heartburn thing in Pressure, but we'll see how that goes. Other than that,